Hi, in this video we're going to introduce the Q box layout, and we're actually going to look at a horizontal box layout, a vertical box layout, and we're going to look at the stretch widgets. It's going to be a bit more complicated than some of the others. I'm going to use the vertical box layout first of all, and you'll see it kind of works, but the label's not going to be displayed properly. And then we're going to put a layout within a layout, in fact a horizontal layout within a vertical box layout, and that horizontal box layout we're going to introduce the stretch widget so that we can see something displayed quite nicely on the screen. The button won't do anything at this point. We're going to introduce that with singles and sots in the next video. So as you can see here, we've got our button, we've got our label, we've got our window. You might notice that the button and the label are not being added to our window. These are overloaded functions, so you can see I've not added it to the window. I've actually just given it its name pushMe, which we'd have normally done with set text, and I've done the same for look at me here as well. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to put those all in a VBox layout, which basically puts each thing that we add to the box in one space under the other. And you might remember in the previous video when we added our label and our button to the same window, it wrote one over the top of the other. So let's go for VBox, not Vox, VBox equals Qt widgets dot Q VBox layouts. Okay, it doesn't do anything at the moment, it's just a container where we're going to put our labels. So with the box layouts, I'm going to do VBox dot add widget, and so I'm going to add my button, and then I'm going to go for VBox dot add widget, and I'm going to add my label. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my window, and I can set a layout to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for set layout, and I'm going to use the layout that we made, which was the VBox layout. And now if we run this, there you can see we've got our push button and we've got we look at me, one underneath the other, and we didn't have to say where we wanted them to be. It's automatically put them in those grids. It's not quite good enough though. Let's look what happens. I'd really like that to be in the middle. It doesn't work. We've effectively got one box here and we've got another box here, and it's just put this in the top left hand corner of that box. Okay, so let's change our program so that it looks better on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a horizontal box layout. So I'm going to call that hbox equals Qt widgets dot Q, there we go, hbox and box layout. Not that much different to what we've had before. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put three things in that box, and when I put them into the box, they put the left one in, then the next one, then the next one, working from there. Well, I'm going to add in a new widget for us, and that's going to be hbox dot add stretch. And now that stretch widget will fill up as much space horizontally as it can. Then I'm going to hbox dot, I'm going to add a widget, and that widget is going to be my label that I had before. And then on the other side of the widget, I'm going to add another stretch. Now if those stretches are taking up as much space as they can, that's going to leave my label right in the middle of the box. Now we don't want to add the label anymore to that vertical box layout. What I actually want to add is that layout that we've got already. So let's go to our VBox dot, and we're going to add a layout, and that's the hbox layout. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So this is what we've done. We've made our buttons, we've made this little layout here that's horizontal, that's got a stretch, a label, and then it's got a stretch, and then I've got this vertical box layout, which on the top row has got a button, and then it's got the layout that we had before. We then add that layout there, which has got this layout inside it, to our overall window, and then we display the title and we show the window. All looks fine to me. And look, there we go. It's definitely in the middle. If I stretch it out, look at that, it looks lovely, right in the middle, just the way that we wanted it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, think about subscribing. I've included a link to the code that I've used in the video below in the description. Stay in infield with Winfield.